Hey guys, it's Jeremy from the Jeremy Ryan Band again, back with my good buddy Al. Al, good to see you again, buddy.
Good to see you always.
Yes, we're having some fun. We just got out of rehearsal and things are looking really good, man.
Liked it.
I loved it. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you, but we got a special guest today with part 5 of the Jeremy Ryan Band series. And hands down, I'd say probably one of the most interesting and sweethearted guys in this group so far. And what a musician, man. I mean, how much fun has it been playing with this guy?
I can't even explain it in words what it's like to play with Kenji Kato.
Yes, sir.
It's been a joy in my life, a blessing, and so I'm looking forward to talking about Kenji and introducing him to our audience.
Absolutely. And you've played with him before, and but just so happens we happen to have him today, right?
Let's bring him in.
Yeah, Mr. Kenji Kato.
Mr. Kenji.
Kenji, thank you, man, for being here. Appreciate you. Such a pleasure playing with you, my friend.
Me too.
Such a pleasure.
My friend.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, I've known Kenji a while longer than you have, and so we're just going to ask him some questions and things like we did the last series and stuff, so we can get to know these musicians, because you've probably seen Kenji teach. He's one of the most successful drum teachers there is that I've ever met, and he works harder than any drum instructor I've ever seen. I've played with kids who were this big that he's taught that play better than most of the adults I've played with. But one story before we get going and ask Kenji some questions and talk to Kenji, I want to mention, because it really is a testament to his talent. When I opened my music store around 2008, I wanted to become a dealer for Yamaha equipment. Now that's no easy task. That company doesn't just let everybody sell their stuff. It's a very respectful, very good company. In fact, I was trained at Yamaha in Buena Park when I was young under some of their digital equipment. And so a guy has to fly out. He's in a suit. He looks like a banker. He has to pour through your books, look at every inch of your store, to see if you're suitable to become a Yamaha dealer. Now, he's from Texas. And I had just met Kenji, and he had just come on teaching at my music store. And the guy's walking from one end of my room to me, and in the store, and Kenji just happens to graze by him heading to his lesson room, and the guy turns around and goes, "Is that Kenji Kato?" Now keep in mind, I'm in Palo Cedro, he's from Texas. Wow. Kenji was in New York at the time before here. The guy goes, "From New York, Kenji Kato?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I've seen that guy play in New York. He's one of the best drummers I've ever seen." Now, anybody who works at Yamaha has seen the best drummers, okay? It's a high compliment for him to remember you, So I just thought that was a great story.
Can you say?
Exaggerate.
No! He's going to be humble through this whole interview,
also,
but I'm telling you.
I'm kind of nervous.
We're all nervous.
I've never get this kind of interview in English.
Well, that's okay. We're going to walk you through it, and it's going to be easy. Kenji, I want to ask you some questions. I know that at a young age, you had music in your family. I know your mother was involved in opera and all kinds of things. Can you tell us a little bit about your mother and the musical experience in your family?
Yes, my mother actually she passed away last year.
Sorry, I remember that.
My mother was a piano teacher. Also, she taught Yamaha organ. It looked like a Hammond.
Like
Hammond
organ.
organ. With the foot pedal. Yeah. Also, she taught vocal music. It's not like a rock. It's a classical side, like opera.
Opera music. Yeah, we know.
So in the house. Maybe classical. I always listen classical music by Chopin. Chopin and Liszt.
Franz Liszt. Franz Liszt.
And many kind of rock pop music by Beatles.
Of course.
The Carpenters or many even Kiss.
But
But by the way, Ringo Starr's birthday is July 7th. My birthday.
That's
July
your birthday?
So,
There you go.
so I like my
Yeah.
birthday.
Well, you know what's funny?
7/7.
So many people loved Ringo, and he came to Reading one time and he played out at Merle Haggard's. You played with Merle Haggard too, and I was going to meet him, but the drummer I was playing with loved him so much. I was supposed to deliver some sticks and brushes out to him, and I called my drummer and I said, "Hey, do you want to go out there and do it, and then you can meet Ringo?"
Oh,
So yeah, it was great.
wow.
He got a chance to meet him. And,
Wow.
yeah. Now I know that over your musical history, Kenji, the one thing I'm curious about is it seems like at a young age you really took a liking and started liking jazz players. And I know you started on keyboards, but I wonder how you got to play drums, from keyboards too.
Okay, it's a long story short. I think when I was 12, I was listening Japanese pop music, like J-pop.
Yeah.
Some of the songs contain some jazz piano.
Okay.
That I was so impressed. I started listening to many pianists, such as Chick Corea,
My favorite.
Herbie Hancock, Keith Jarrett. Also, I really love Sonny Clark. Sonny Clark is, softly as in the morning sunrise, and maybe Wynton Kelly. And also Dave Grusin.
Dave Grusin, sure.
Yeah. I joined the high school band, brass band, like high school orchestra. There I play percussion and drums.
Oh.
I think when I was 17 years old, I saw the Steve Gadd drumming on the TV. I was so moved, like so excited, so thrilled.
Yeah.
Then I still remember very clearly. Then I decided to make drums my life, kind of suddenly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were inspired by Steve Gadd.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What did you like so much about Steve Gadd? His style. What was it? Or just the freedom, or his technique, or his music? What do you think it was?
Steve doesn't play piano or organ or guitar,
Yeah.
but he understands harmony and melody very well.
Gotcha.
As if he played
All the instruments.
other instrument, and also dynamics.
His
And
dynamics. He played on so many records.
Yeah, sensitivity, and also his unique idea, like the 50 ways
To
live your love. That's it's incredible.
Yeah, such a
It's a-
great.
And passion, of
His
course.
passion. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The one thing that a lot of people may or may not know about you, Kenji, if you just only went to the Yamaha Academy of Music and studied in Japan, that alone would be a huge feather in a musician's cap. It's a very esteemed place to study music. And he went there and got a degree there, then ends up at Berklee College of Music in Boston, where all the good players come from. It is the spot, and does 4 years there of studying. Now I can just tell you, I don't know what goes on in there because I'm not as educated and haven't went to those universities. But when I play with Kenji, I can just tell you, there isn't a style or a song or anything that you have to explain hard. I mean, he's just there. The grooves are there. The confidence, the sound. His drum kits are beautiful, and just he never misses a detail. We've played jazz and fusion together many years, and now we're playing in Jeremy Ryan's band, playing kind of a country rock thing. And there's just, there's so many other players I've played with. And when Kenji joined the band, he mentions that, well, I mostly play jazz, and I'm not sure, about being in a rock band. And, I've heard jazz players say that, and jazz is a very advanced music. And maybe not all jazz players can play rock, but I'm just telling you, jazz players play in time, and they know how to count, and they understand music. And so I know Kenji might feel like this is a bit challenging in some respects, but it's a walk in the park for a player like Kenji. And it just, I know me and Rob, our bass player, keyboard player, Jeremy, have talked about it. Having him there is like having the ultimate life preserver back there, you know. So you're going to love seeing him play.
Yeah, okay.
When you came from Japan,
Yeah.
where did you first go?
Okay. Oh, yeah. I went to a Japanese restaurant. I talked to the owner.
Was this in New York?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, you know, at that time, it's very hard to get a drum job, music
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to find some job in a restaurant. It's very common way
Yeah.
to
To get going.
for
Sure.
Japanese people to
Yeah.
Japanese people to work in a Japanese restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Well,
a waiter. Yeah.
Yeah, and even many famous actors and you know, Americans too. We work in the service industry because you can't always start playing drums or guitar.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah. How? Well, do you remember when we met?
Oh yeah, Tokyo Garden. Yeah.
Yeah. How I met Kenji was he was cooking at a restaurant, but also playing music in Reading. And I don't know how long he'd been here, but me and my wife pulled in the parking lot, and there was this car next to us, and this gentleman getting his drums out. Now, I remember way back, somebody said, it might have been John Coltrane, it might have been Miles Davis. They said, you can tell a musician who's professional by the way he holds his instrument. And I see Kenji getting his drums out, and I told my wife, I go, I don't know, I think I got to meet this guy, you know. And I had talked to him and introduced myself, and I told him maybe sometime we might play together or something, and I gave him a card. And then I hadn't heard from him, but my wife and I went back to the restaurant months later, and I heard some great music going on in this restaurant back in the corner. So I gave this business card again to the waitress to give to Kenji. And then you called me, I think.
Yeah.
And that's how you started teaching at the store, and that's how we met, right?
Yeah, I think I played every Friday night, I think, or Thursday night. I forgot. Yeah. Then one waitress came to me, and he gave me she gave me a business card, and your name was there.
Oh.
Yeah, with the Music Max.
Yeah.
The store name is Music Max. But you didn't show up to me. Like you didn't see me. You just left the business.
Yes,
card.
because I was sitting out front is where and it was very busy in there. So all the tables were taken, and you were in the other room playing. I wanted to, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay. Then after I saw the business card, then I called your store.
That's right. Yeah.
Then I went to your store, Music Max. The Music Max were really like family friendly. Usually music store sometimes kind of dark, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe I can't say.
Yeah, no, you can say that.
Yeah,
music stores can be a little dark.
Sometimes not really family friendly.
Yes,
but
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the Music Max, I saw you and Sherry.
Yeah, and my kids were working there, and then I come to know your kids.
Yeah,
who would come there.
It's a family friendly, also the kind of refreshing and good vibe.
Yeah,
you know. Then I played some, drums. Yeah, it's sitting there.
Yeah.
Then I think after that, you asked me if I can teach.
Yeah, we needed a teacher.
Yeah.
I had asked you to start teaching at the store because we needed a drum instructor badly, and it's hard to find drum instructors. And then, of course, we got to work every day together, which was a blessing in my life. I got to know your wife, your kids. Your kids got to know my kids, my wife, and everybody. And you and I ended up playing together, and we did some really nice concerts. And then we also did a lot of casual gigs together, met Rob and started playing together. And just had a really good run at that store. And, of course, you still are at that store teaching. It's your shop, really. It's your store. And, to teach I teach about 35 students. To teach 70 students like he does, and put on concerts and that too.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's one of the hardest working teachers I've ever met. We were having problems as I had just met Jeremy and we put a band together. We played a few gigs and we realized that there was something that wasn't quite working, and we weren't going to be able to get to the level that you wanted to get at the way that we were working at that time. And so we started looking for other options, and I, again, kind of like with Rob, I told Jeremy, I said, I don't know if Kenji would even come, but if he would just come one night, I don't have to give him any music or anything, but if he would just come and play a few songs with us just from scratch, then you could see what he's like, and then we could see what, maybe have some other drummers come in and things like that, just see what other musicians are like, because you had not played with other musicians much.
No.
And I had no idea that Kenji would want to be in the band. That wasn't even the idea. It was just to get you to see how other things go. He ended up really knowing you and loving your music.
Needless to say, by the first few songs, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but I want that.
Yeah.
I want this guy to be part of
Yes.
it. And he was equally as enthusiastic as when we were done with the practice. He's like, so am I in or what? I'm
Yes,
like,
yes.
wow.
And it wasn't even an audition.
No, it wasn't.
We're didn't think in a million years that
Oh,
he
great.
would want to play.
That's great.
I thought he was too busy.
I'm glad he was able to join this band and was available for us.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
By the way, you talk about our history in music method. When I was teaching, before I teach the first American student, I used to teach Japanese. I used to have a Japanese student, Korean student, Asian student, but I've never taught the American student. Imagine, difficult to imagine Japanese drummer teach American music, American drumming to the American people.
It seems weird.
It was really, I was so nervous.
That's so funny. I didn't know you were that nervous, and I never thought any more about it. I just thought, you're a great drummer. Loved you right as soon as we met you, and that you would just start teaching. And every once in a while, when a customer would come up, they'd go, well, he's Japanese, will he communicate with the youngsters and my kids? And I said, absolutely. First of all, music's a universal language.
Oh yeah.
But second of all, he communicates with all ages. He's got tons of students of all ages, but a lot of very, very young kids. These kids are playing things that you can't Dream Theater and things like this. These guys are playing that he teaches. Now, of course, he's hands-on, double drum kits in the room, every resource, stage, all these opportunities for these kids to play. But I'm not lying when I say I have played with kids this big that understand how to play in time and where to do drum fills and all that better than adults that I have played with in this town, So communication is not a problem. Even though you were nervous, it's just really not a thing. And I never thought about somebody from Japan teaching Americans how to play American music. It's just music.
Yeah, it's a music. Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were nervous about that.
Yeah.
Well, look how it worked out. It worked out good. Yeah.
I know Jeremy a long time because we shared the stage at the Red Lion Hotel maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
Then I was in a band with Dave Brunet.
Yeah.
Then you were with a duo, right? California, it's called California Brunet. Then when I saw you singing, like a vocal quality is really like amazing.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I
And
appreciate
also,
that.
I thought you're a vocalist, but you are like a drummer, like a percussion. You have a great sense of the rhythm.
Thank you.
So I really impressed your performance, your singing. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I always want to play with you actually,
Oh,
long,
wow.
long time. Yeah, but I thought you are not interested in making a band
Gotcha.
or sing with. I thought
Sure.
you like a duo.
Yeah.
Because he had his acoustic guitar player.
Yeah,
and just,
yeah. we were doing that for so
That's why
long.
I didn't, contact.
Sure.
Contact
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad that we met and that we're playing together now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super happy.
I'm ecstatic. Especially we had a great rehearsal
Oh,
today.
what a
man.
day today. Yeah.
And he's not even
I'm
on his
fire.
kid. He's just the thing I love about Kenji too. Check this out. Because musicians can be prima donnas, even me. I go, oh, I got to have just this right sound. And Kenji comes in. We've got a little, like a kid's kid in there. I'm like, oh, we can move this out. He goes, no, I'll just play on that. I'm like, I don't know. It's got a broken cymbal and it's hi-hats. And he goes, within 5 minutes, he's got some tools out.
Good thing.
Yeah, well, he's got his tools out and he's overhauling this thing, putting stuff on it too. And we turn around, he's playing, and it sounds
Oh,
like
man.
$1,000. This kit, and he goes, "It's all in the tuning." He
Yeah.
goes, we laugh to this day at what he does with that little drum kit. It's like
crazy.
we could tour the planet with that drum kit because it's the drummer. It's not
Yeah,
always the
I'm
kit.
sure it's the tuning, right?
Yeah. And
Sure.
that was just a funny thing. We laugh about it, how
Yeah.
good he sounds on anything.
You are exaggerating.
No.
No.
He's not exaggerating. He's great.
Most of the drumming issue, like a drum sound issue, is the tuning.
Yeah.
So not really my like a playing.
Let me correct you, my friend. Part of the issues with drumming is not playing in time or how to count.
Oh.
So that can be a problem
Yeah.
sometimes.
Also, that small kit is really good. Yeah.
It's not a, yeah.
You
but
make it
still.
sound good.
Oh yeah.
Real good.
These grooves are I just get a big kick out of these grooves. They sound great. You've played with a lot of people over the years, Kenji, and I won't make you list them all, but when you played with Merle Haggard, how did that happen?
Oh yeah. I think the manager of the Merle Haggard called the Marvin Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, Marvin. He's also a fantastic guitarist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Marvin.
Hey, Mark, good friend of ours.
Yeah.
We love
Yes,
him.
Marvin's awesome.
Then the manager asked to Marvin if Marvin can find some drummer for Marv's recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing, Merle Haggard was going to make kind of jazz album. Like
okay.
Not really jazz,
But a
like
little-
a jazz, some album with a jazz flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then originally I'm jazz drummer,
Mhm.
so Marvin recommended me for his recording.
Oh, okay.
Right on.
I record one song
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a bunch of time out there with Merle and his band over the years helping him with technical stuff. I got a chance to play on a record just before he passed. Because he was in our backyard, sometimes you take it for granted, but he's so famous. He's done so many huge things over. He's a household name in country music, so it's really an honor to be able to play with him, back then. And
I was so nervous, but recording was really interesting. They actually he asked me play only quarter note,
Yeah.
with no fill in.
yes.
Pa,
Oh yeah.
pa. Then I play like quarter note.
Yeah.
Pa, but the engineer,
Lou probably.
engineer asked me, "Hey Kenji, I don't feel any your personality on the quarter note." Okay, I'm pretty good to make some phrase. To show my style.
Yeah.
But only quarter note.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. We spend like
I love it.
2-3 hours working on the quarter note.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, it's but finally it was okay.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I'll say about those guys, I've watched them record in their process. It's almost like Pink Floyd, even though it's just country songs, and you listen to it's a country song. I've watched those guys record just sentences and take hours and redo it until Merle said, that's not kind of, that's exactly what I want. And I guess it's a process, but I understand what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was one of the best experiments in my life.
You enjoyed it?
He's
wow.
great. He is a great person.
Yeah.
Wonderful person.
Great
great person.
songs.
Yeah. Then great song, great voice.
Great voice,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, his kids have went on to
I
do
was-
some really good music too.
I was so honored to.
Yeah.
It's long story short.
Mm-hmm.
I actually before I start teaching at your store, I
Mhm.
play only jazz and fusion.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of student of mine is really talented rock drummer.
Yes, yes.
Then actually, I was really get great influence from my student. Oh my goodness, they really love rock. And when they play, my students play
Yeah.
play the rock, they are like shining, like burning. So I said, oh, rock. And by teaching my student, I understood how rock and funk is really great.
Yeah.
Great music. Yeah.
You know, the thing I think about with these styles of music, you have to have passion to play jazz and fusion, but every style of music, and some of these people who play a style might criticize other styles. When I was young, I didn't like flamenco or Latin music, and now I do, but even if it's blues, just 3-chord blues, or simple Latin songs maybe, or rock, everything has its challenges, whether it's technical or attitude, or feel like I've played forever. You would think blues would be easy for me. It's not easy. I recognize that it takes a certain feel and a certain style and passion that sometimes doesn't come off when I play. Kind of like when Merle was saying, the quarter note. I recognize that there's some things that I got to work at. And every style of music has a set of challenges. Yeah. Do you find this challenging? The Jeremy Ryan Band?
Well, once I start rehearsing with you guys, I feel like my rock and funk spirits that was sleeping inside me was kind of awakening.
That's
Then
great.
I feel really comfortable.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's the
that's
same with me and Rob too, I grew up on 80s rock and stuff like that, and I had put it away for many, many years. And it's fun to kind of get back into it a little bit, and I'm enjoying that awakening, by the way. Yeah, well, we've got a bunch of gigs coming up. I'm looking forward to performing with you, of course.
Oh, I can't wait to hit the stage and get him on a real drum set and get him off the little one. Because if he can do what he's doing in there, I can't wait to see this guy.
Well,
in
we've
his
got
full
some
kit.
big shows coming up.
We
You want to
do.
talk about them?
We do, yeah. We've got some really big shows coming up. What do we got here? We've got the
Frontier Days on the 12th. That might be our debut gig.
I think
April
that's
12th.
going to potentially be our debut, just right down the road here. And
Tickets are on sale now.
Palisadro, yeah. Go to frontierdays.com, www.com, and it's also on our Facebook page. We've got an event on there. You can click on there, and there's ticket information on that. And that's going to be a big one, man. Bull riding the Broncos and country music and beer.
Food, beer.
Yeah,
A lot of people.
A lot of fun people, man.
Palisadro's a great community for that.
It is, and they've got a beautiful spot picked out for it. I think it couldn't be more perfect. Yeah, and then right after that, we're going to do the Cottonwood Rodeo kickoff, and I believe that's
right. That'll be a big night.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. That's also on our band page or event, and then
We've got a big Wind River gig coming up too.
we do.
I do like bacon and I like brew.
We're going to have both of those. Coincidentally, yeah, the bacon and brew at Wind River. That one comes out May 30th.
Yeah.
And I haven't posted anything about ticket sales or anything yet because it'll be coming out in the beginning of March
Yeah.
here. So I'll start getting information on that one. But that one's locked in. So.
And I didn't want to push you on that stuff, but there's other stuff coming out too. We got gigs that are coming up that we'll announce and put on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And I'm just loving working with this guy. Obviously, I love working with you. And we got a great group of guys. Not everybody's heard and been introduced to to all of our band, I guess we could start posting some content
Maybe we'll put some snippets of some music out.
Sure. I'd like to hear what we're working on.
Yeah.
But if you really want to hear it, come out April 12th to the Frontier Days in Palo Cedro, and you're going to really hear it the way it's intended.
Before we close, I wanna mention like 3 things. One is this band is not really country band. We play some like funk.
Mm-hmm.
There's some parts like a fusion sound,
Yeah.
like a chicken. The chicken like
Yeah.
Jaco Pastorius.
Sure.
Then some of the jazz feel, your guitar solo. I saw many a lot of the phrase inspired by the
Jazz.
jazz player. Yeah. So this is I feel like this is more like a jam band, like a Dave Matthews band. Kind of.
I see.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of different styles going on,
absolutely.
and mostly that comes from the diversity of the way he sings and writes.
Okay.
He sings better than Dave Matthews.
Number 2. Second, I thought Jeremy is like fearless, like a person, very strong and fearless, and hey Kenji, how good are you? What's up, man? But once I met him, like I knew you long time. I haven't known you long time, but when we start rehearsing and practicing, he has such a sweet heart.
Oh yeah. He's lovable. He's lovable.
Yeah.
I'm giving out free hugs on the 12th. So.
That's why we're all playing with him.
He always pay attention to the older members and
Absolutely.
take care, many stuff at the same time. The one thing, when we, without meeting you, I don't know if my family survived or me and my family survived in Reading, right here. Because I start teaching, then I started get some gigs, especially from you. Then you recommend Charles Bernard. I think you mentioned Mark Cooper.
You played with Mark Cooper.
Yeah.
Great guy. We love Mark.
Yeah, and then as a Chuck person from Chico. Anyway, basically everything from you. I really.
Well, there's no need to thank
my wife always.
Oh, well, listen, you've been a blessing in my life. It hasn't been one way, it's been 2 ways. And again, Kenji's very humble, but I know you, and I know your work ethic. I don't care where you landed. I'm glad you landed in Reading, but if you would have landed somewhere else, you would have been super successful because you work hard. Yes.
I doubt about you. If I go to another city, I'm not sure if I can leave like
well,
this.
I'm glad it all worked out, and like I say, it's been more of a blessing to me, and we just love your family and have loved playing with you over the years, so thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Yep,
it.
thank you, Kenji. Appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I guess this concludes part 5 of the Jeremy Ryan Band series. Doesn't mean it's over yet. We'll give you guys some more information, and maybe we'll get the whole band in here and have a big old hoedown in here or something.
We're just getting started.
But
This machine's open for business soon.
oh yeah, but watch out for us April, May. That's when it's gonna start kicking off, and then you're not gonna get rid of us after that.
That's
We'll just
right.
keep going from there.
That's right.
All right, guys. Good seeing you again. Thank you so much for your time.